I like to feel uncomfortable and anxious. Majority of the media we consume is just for the sake of distraction. Fuck that! I wanna feel the same level of anxiety and tension as I did when L told Light who he really was with every story I consume. But sadly, not every story is Death Note. That was until I discovered Kim Canby, the author of 4 intense, blood-chilling stories, 3 of which, I believe, surpassed Death Note. Now, Kim Canby is an author who specializes in thriller manhwa, and to anyone who is unfamiliar, manhwa are Korean comics that are made to be read vertically on your phone. With the recent humongous popularity Korea's Squid Game got, I believe this was the right time to make this video. So if you're new, say hi in the comments, you feel wrong. South Korea seems really good at making thrillers, mostly because they come at it from an entirely different perspective from the West. Variety is the spice of life, and Kim Canby understands this. Death Note is, no matter how you look at it, a masterpiece that defined an entire generation. But there's only one Death Note. Kim Canby has 3. Now, to stop you from leaving, let's play a game. I've got 40 seconds to sell you on each of his stories. Ready? Let's go. You wake up on a beach confused. Your mind doesn't wander. It's blank. You can't remember anything. Not your name, your age, or even how you got there. You set a landmark and decide to survey the area to better understand where you are. A few hours later, you get back to the exact same landmark. You are on an island. You walk around in the bushes looking for anyone or anything that can help you, until finally you stumble upon a dark, ominous house in the horizon. You smile in relief, only to... You wake up confused, this time in a bed. Hesitantly, you walk towards the corridor. Someone is mopping something on the floor. Excuse me? Well... Why? You're in my home. Come in. A woman walks in with clothes for you. So, what's your name? She asks. Actually, I don't remember. Then proceeds to laugh maniacally, claiming that it's almost the plot of a B-rank movie. A man who can't remember who he is, trapped on a new land? Perfect. There's something wrong about this family, and you know this. The main character knows this, but it's a remote island and he has amnesia. So what's he gonna do? I'd recommend you going into this as blind as possible and experiencing it for yourself. And not just for the ploy, if you know what I mean. There's a little something for everyone, you know? This is the story of Im So-hyung, an orphan who is cursed with the ability to kill people just by looking at them. When did it all begin? I don't remember. Were you aware of it? No, I had no idea. Do you feel guilty? Now I do. Just because you feel guilty doesn't mean they're coming back. Now drink. Now Gorgon is a very unique case due to the protagonist's cast. The main character is just a normal guy who suddenly becomes a mass murderer just because he made random eye contact with someone, and you see it driving him crazy with guilt. It's a bit of a slow burn, but it's worth the read. Kim Canby and Hyung Chang Hwang are experts at using the Webtoon scroll-down format to create pace and suspense, which is great for horror stories. And now, for the big boys. There is a serial killer in my house. Now you have to understand something. This next story isn't your average run-of-the-mill psychological thriller. There have been times where I've been genuinely, physically anxious and outright scared by this story. Our main character is Jin, a high schooler with a defeated attitude about life despite coming from a rich household. He's got an artificial eye and an artificial heart. Something happened to him, and it has to do with his father, who loves to act like a kind soul but is actually a sick beast masquerading as a human being. The main character loses a lot in Boston, like a lot. The thing he's trying to defeat is stronger, faster, bigger, and way smarter than anything he ever could. But you root for him every single step of the way. Jin even has some form of PTSD from all the sick things he's had to do for his father just to stay alive. Jin hasn't lived a life. He's just been surviving. But when someone at his school finally acknowledges his existence and gives him a reason to actually smile, he can't stomach it when his father tells him that he wants her. Sweet Home needs no introduction. This is Kanbi Kim's and Hyungchang Hwang's magnum opus, their greatest creation yet. It's so big that it even got a live action series. No. Read the manhwa, don't watch the live action. The manhwa is way more intense and scary. But how can reading something be scarier than watching it happen? 2 words. Webtoon cinematography. The way King and Hwang lead your eyes while scrolling anxiously to the next panel is insanely good, and by the 5th chapter, your palms will be sweating. Out of all the protagonists in Kim's works, Yoon is by far the biggest piece of shit. Basically an isekai protagonist before they died and got sent to get slapped in another world because some dumb bitch didn't lock the door when she was changing. He's a rude, annoying asshole who stays in his room all day playing games. Sounds kind of familiar. He tells his mother he hates her and even refuses to go on the last family trip before his father leaves the country. His family gets into an accident and Hyun is now completely alone. But do you think he feels sorry? Nah! This man pulls up to the funeral in sandals and shits on all of them for not leaving with enough money to live on. Hyun is irredeemable, at least at the start of Sweet Home, until suddenly the world starts going to shit and we get what I can only describe as the most unique take on the zombie genre I have seen in years. People are becoming monsters based on their own subconscious desires. The team handles this so well with the composition of the shots and the designs of the monsters. I deadass got nightmares one time after reading a chapter of this, and I'm a big boy. I've got the courage to admit I'm a tits man. When I said these stories surpass Death Note, I meant as thrillers. Death Note is my second favorite anime of all time, and is so rich in characters, themes, and narrative structure. But those last 2 manhwa are just better at being thrillers. Oh boy, this is so different from what I usually do. Turns out most of you guys don't actually watch my videos to the end, so I decided to try something new. Have you guys read any of the stories I talked about? Let me know in the comments. I like replying to those. Still got time? Check out my other videos. That'll be all. See ya.